Welcome to the SC BookGal Friends chat. We're going to be talking about the latest in book reviews, author interviews, and life. Come on in and join us. We're ready. Are you? Hey everyone, this is your girl SC BookGal 843, and it is another Tuesday night. So I always have to ask you guys. I always have. Oh, my camera's falling. I'm sorry, you guys. I always have to ask you guys. How are you? That's good. For me, you guys, I am on a complete high tonight. It's just my baby girl is about to have her signing day, and she's going to commit to her new school. I can't tell you guys yet, but pay attention to my Facebook page and you'll find out what school she's going to be going to. Somebody who's very special to me has a birthday today, so happy birthday, LaKendrick. Um, and then on top of that, next week Wednesday at this time, my baby oh no, next week Wednesday, my baby girl will be graduating from the fifth grade. Summer readings is getting started. The only bad things that's going on right now is these swarmers. Okay? So y'all know what I'm talking about if you live in Charleston. They're here about a week and they'll be gone. But I have a new author. So y'all know it's Tuesday. So a new author and a new book. So it is nothing like being a daddy's girl. And I am one that could say I am a daddy's girl. I remember being 4, 5, 6, and down here in Charleston, we used to have the black baseball teams. Okay, so every Saturday and every Sunday, we would go to the park, right? And all the guys, all the fathers will have their kids on the stands sitting down and they would be playing with their teams. I love this. I remember my dad coming to pick me up on Saturday afternoons, walking down to the park, and I had me a pickle, I had me a chili beer, and a hot dog. And I was good. My dad was out there pitching or hitting. He'll look back at me, give me a wink, and I was good to go. But this book and this author is going to explain how searching for a father's love is a journey from brokenness, healing, and grace. So, you guys, I would love to bring up author Michelle Briggs. Come on up, girly. Come on up.
Hey. Hey,
Hey,
Patrice, how are you?
I am good, Mama. How are you?
I am well. I'm so happy to be here.
Me too. I am excited. I am excited. Now, I know about you, but how about you tell the audience about Miss Michelle Briggs?
All right, everybody. My name is Michelle Briggs. As you can see, I am an author. I am a new author. I currently live in Texas. I have lived around in many different places. I was born and raised in Chicago, and I have lived in other states, many other states. Life brought me to Texas. So my journey to Texas was a little different because I went through a divorce after a 20-year marriage, and I decided that I wanted to do something different with my life. My youngest child had turned 18. She went off to college in Virginia. I came back home and said, "Okay, Michelle, what do you want to do?" Because I have been a mother and I have been a wife, and I never been me. And so at that time, I didn't know how to make that decision. I didn't even know how to even start. So I went online one night and I said, "Let me look up the top 10 cheapest cities to live in the U.S." And Temple, Texas was one of them. So I came to Temple, Texas in September, Labor Day weekend 2015, checked it out. Oh, they had a Walmart, right? They had a Sam's Club, small town, but they had just the necessities that I needed. So I said, okay, I think I can live there. Went back home and started applying for jobs, and the doors began to open. I received the job, came back for the interview. And then the time I was like, okay, I'm sort of iffy. I don't know if this is something I really want to do because I've never been on my own. I've been married. You know, I met my husband. I met him at the age of 17, and we were divorced at age 41. So I didn't know anything else. I didn't know anyone else. And on top of that, he was a pastor. So I was a pastor's wife at the time. So it was a journey. It was a real good and slash challenging. I don't want to say difficult. It was a challenging journey. And so in the meantime, I packed up what I could fit. I got the job, got a place to live. I packed up what I could fit in my Equinox, and I've drove to Texas. And I've been living in Texas for 10 years. And so just this past year or so, I've been feeling a nudge that it's time for me to tell my story. And I learned that you can't really tell your story really like you need to until you become in a place of healing. Because a lot of times triggers, sometimes we have scars there, and sometimes if you touch, it's tender underneath the skin, or you have a scar there and you look at it and it brings back the memories. But I've learned that when you come to a place of healing, those scars are the battle scars. They're there to show that you came through the battle, but you survived it. And so in my book, I talk about a lot about my survival mode, but I try to go to that thriving mode, because it's not life is just not meant for us to just to survive. Life is meant for us to thrive. Because I'm a spiritual person, so I'm gonna talk spiritual. So the Bible tells us in John 10:10, he says, God says, the thief coming not to but to steal, kill, and destroy. He said, but I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. So in that Patrice, it's like people think we have to die and go to heaven to have that abundant life. But God was talking about He wants us to have abundant life right here on earth, right? And sometimes people think, oh, I'm suffering in my marriage and I'm going through this and I'm going through that. But God intended for us to have abundant life. And it's
A,
up to us. It's up to us to obtain that abundant life.
a lot of people don't see it like that. I mean, okay,
Mm-mm.
so okay, y'all know, everybody out there, that I was born and raised in the church. There's this one song I just never could, well, actually, two. Shake the Devil Off. I truly never did understand that song. But then, this is the one that really used to get me. Y'all know BET, Late at Night. I'm coming up.
On
Why
the
we
rough
gotta go
side
up
of the
the left side
mountain.
of the mountain? It's like, why? I understand there's going to be trials and tribulation, but why do we have to choose to go up the rough side of the mountain? Can the journey
We don't
start
have
off
to climb
smooth
the mountain
and
at all.
then
He
get a
told
little
us to
tricky?
speak to the mountain. Just speak to it. You don't even have to climb the mountain. And tell the mountain to be thou removed and be cast into the midst of the sea, and shall not doubt in your heart, but believe that whatever thing you desire, when you pray, you receive them and you shall have them. So why are you climbing when all you got to do is speak? Wasted energy.
See, you got me because I can see them right now on TV like this. Just, that song
Wasted
used,
energy.
that song used to get on my nerve. I just never understood, like, why are we going up the, why are you choosing to go up the rough side of the mountain? Yes, there's going to be trial and tribulation, but how I tell friends of mine, if you always in a trial and a tribulation and you never have a time of peace, then you might
Something
need to
wrong.
evaluate yourself.
Yeah, you the
Okay,
problem.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
so we understand that you wrote this book to tell your story.
Right.
What part of your story were you wanting to tell? What are you wanting your readers to take away from your book?
I wanted my readers to take away a place of healing, that they're not alone, and that God is a God of restoration. To know that you can be restored, you can find that place of peace, that you can find that place of happiness and joy. And so I really want my readers to know that, hey, you might have gone through some things in life. We all have a story, right? Your story is not mine. My story is not the next person. However, in the midst of our stories, I want people to know that there is, in your brokenness, there is a wholeness and a wellness that God wants to give us. And that's what I was talking about with that abundant life. And and I wanted to share this with you because sometimes we feel like nobody else is going through this but me, right? Nobody else. I'm
Mhm.
the only one that going through this. And so many years ago, Patrice, my godmother, Mama Elise, if you're listening, hey, my godmother told me, you got somebody's deliverance inside of you. You need to tell your
Ooh.
story. Somebody's waiting to hear your story. This was many years ago. Many years ago. And so she told me that, and I sat on it for so long. You know why I sat on it? Because I wasn't healed. And so I didn't feel like I should
Mm.
tell this story because I'm still going through the process, right? And sometimes our
Mhm.
victory is in the process. Our victory is while we're going through that struggle or whatever we're going through. So sometimes we have to go ahead and tell the story. So in little groups or little side piece or one-on-one, I would tell my story to different individuals that I felt led to. However, I felt like I have a bigger platform now. I feel like it's time for me to share my story and because you heard the saying, you see the glory but you don't know the story. So I want them to see my glory,
Mhm.
but I do want them to know the story. Okay, so that's what I want. I want to share that story so they can see where I am now. A lot of people ask me, how did you do it? How did you move with just what you fit in your car? If you look at my house right now, you couldn't tell that I moved in here what I fit in an Equinox because God has restored me with so much abundance that I don't have nothing to worry about. I got more than enough. So I just realized that knowing that you see the glory, but I want to be able to tell the story. So I just know that I'm thankful for your platform, being able to be here on SC BookGals. I'm so thankful for the platform, but I'm also know that my platform's gonna get bigger. And I want to take it to a stage. I want my book to be my leverage. A lot of times people write
Mhm.
books. There's a whole lot of books out there. There nobody's opened it. And so I have a mentor who told me, Michelle, look at your Amazon cart. And I was like, okay. How many things you got in that Amazon cart you done put on your wish list? You got it sitting there and you haven't bought it yet. And how long has it been there?
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
And so
Ooh.
she said, your book is probably sitting inside somebody's Amazon cart. And they just have not purchased it yet. So I want to
Right.
take it to a further. I want to do just not the books. I want to have healing lunches. Lunches. I want to be able to have retreats. I want this to go global. I really want this to be able to share. I want to share my story on stages. As I told you before we even started, I love to talk. Can't you tell? I love to talk. So I love to share. I want to share it because I want to see, I don't want to go on this trip and this journey by myself. This journey of the brokenness and the healing and the grace. I want to be able to share this healing grace of what God did for me and because there's no secret what he can do. What he's done for others, he'll do for other. So what he's done for me, he'll do for other people. So I just want to be able to share my story with them.
And we're going to bring up your book. It is in the synopsis. It says through a blend of memoir and reflective storytelling.
Hmm.
Michelle brings shares the journey of a daughter shaped by abandonment, broken relationships, and deep emotional wounds. When her parents reconnected after years of separation, she dares to hope that healing will finally arrive. But even as an adult, she discovers that a longing to be known by her father still remains. You guys, I'm about to bring up the book cover so you can see this cover. Look at this. Oh my God, the cover speaks so much. What did you want your readers to see and to think when they see your book cover?
I wanted them to see, and I had this idea when I did the book cover because it starts, my first chapter is talking about waiting on the porch. And so, as a little girl, I remember my brother and I getting dressed, my dad promising to pick us up, and my mom set us outside on the porch, and she sat there while we waited and waited and waited and waited and waited, and he never showed. And so, I remember that day, and that little girl sitting on that porch is me waiting for my dad to show up. And at the in the background, you see a silhouette of an older woman in the rocking chair, still on the porch waiting. Because even though I grew up and I was mature, I was grown, I still was waiting for my dad to show up.
Oh,
So
now I
and
understand.
that whole thing, I want to just give you a little synopsis of what I was meaning by that, because my dad did show up. He did come back into my life. Um, he remarried my mom after 16 years of divorce. He came back into my life, but I never really had that father daughter relationship that I always longed for. And so, even in the midst of him coming back, even though he was there, he wasn't there. And so that thing that I longed for years and years and years, to be loved by my father, what it means to jump on my daddy's lap, what it means to lay my head on my dad, what it meant to just be able to share who I was and what I brought to my family. I didn't have that opportunity totally. That was one of the things that I talk about, is that journey of just being able to have that father. And so realizing that a father's love, our father guides us into our choices as women, as young girls, of who we marry, right? And so I
Right.
ended up marrying a man that was basically like my father almost. Um,
Oh, wow. That is true because they always say that a girl's first love is her father.
mhm,
They always say that. So I'm gonna digress, you guys, because I have to. This is on my mind. So y'all know I surf Facebook, and I was doing that tonight, getting ready for the show. And there was a father who went to his daughter's kindergarten graduation here in South Carolina. Matter of fact, it was Columbia, South Carolina.
mhm,
And the mother, because sometimes, ladies, I have to admit, it be us. We be the one. But this father showed up, and he's always shown up. The principal acknowledged that. But the mom was so bitter that she did not let the daughter graduate,
wow,
took her out of the ceremony.
wow,
So sometimes mothers, we have to, and even single mothers, and I'm going to speak because I am a single mother now, we have to open that door to let the fathers come in.
mhm,
How, or even have you addressed this in your book? Like, if that is the case, I mean, how does the healing, how would healing come if it's from the mother's side? Like,
right.
how that little girl
Right.
heal?
So one thing I can say, Patrice, is my mother was my strong. She was my strength, and she still is my strength. Even going through everything she's gone through. My dad is now in prison. He's serving a sentence. And my mom is still married to him. She supports him. She's there for him. And my mom has shown me the tenacity and the strength of a woman. And so I really have a lot of that loyalty and that strength, that I get from my mom. My mom never kept my brother and I away from our dad. My mom never said that we couldn't see our dad. And my mom was always that bridge that helped bridge the relationship between my dad and her children, because my mom had two children by him. The thing is I remember sometimes I would go to her and talk to her, and she said, "Well, go talk to your daddy." Now, they got remarried when I was 29 years old, right? I was 29 years old, and I had already been married 8 years and had four children of my own, right? But the little girl inside of me longed for that father's love. And so
Mhm.
I felt like more so my dad was more of a father to my children than a grandfather than he was to me. And so there was times where I had a little jealousy there, because he was spending the time with my children, and he was doing things for my children that I didn't get a chance to experience. And so that was a little, it had a little made me feel a little some type of way, right? And so I had to heal from that part because I'm like, I would tell my kids, that's my daddy, and he's treating y'all more like y'all his children than me. I'm his biological. If it wasn't for me, y'all wouldn't be here. So my whole thing is I wanted to make sure that my mom, I mean, awesome woman. My mom is an awesome woman, and I love her. And so, mommy, if you're watching, I love you. But she taught me so much. She taught me so much of how to be strong. And so I have a new book coming out. We didn't even talk about this earlier, but in a few weeks I have a new book coming out. It's called "Loving Me While Becoming," and that transition. I talk about that because we as women tend to go through transitional moments, and we are our worst enemies. We are our worst critics. And so,
Yep.
in that loving, while we becoming who God has created and predestined us to be, we got to continue to love ourselves. We can't say, "Oh, I'm fat. Oh, I'm ugly. My hair is short. I don't look good." Love you while becoming.
All right, can you stop coming in front of my front door with that one? Because I'm gonna need you to stop sweeping in front of my door. I have a tendency of doing that, you know. Oh, I hate this, I hate that, and I have somebody that speaks into me, but then
Mhm.
sometimes I even block them off. Like, look, bro, I ain't even trying to hear you right now. But you are
Mhm.
so right now. You know, you got to tell me when this next book coming out. We gonna talk
Yes,
about that.
ma'am. Will do.
You have placed so much of what we need, especially in the African American community. If the younger you was sitting in front of you right now, what would you say to her?
I would probably tell the younger me, stop looking for what's already inside of you.
Oh, snap. Mic drop.
I looked and I jumped in and out of relationships until I got married, and then after my marriage, I jumped in and out of relationships. Even encountered some situations where I was in a relationship with a person who I later found out was on crack, who took me down and through there, and thinking at 50 years old, I'm experiencing this. I should know better. I should be bigger than this. And that's what I'm talking about, loving me while becoming. Because we're going to make some decisions. And just because you make decisions, that is not your end. It's not the end. I always say there's nothing that I can't get into that God and me can't get out of. So
Okay.
we can get into a lot of things. We put ourselves into a lot of things, but it's going to take God and your participation to get you out of it. Okay, so yeah, I just really, I really, I would tell myself because the love was already inside of me. Because I love people and I love hard, honey. I love hard. When I love you, I love you, and I love hard. So it was already inside of me, but I couldn't see that inside of me. I couldn't see that love inside of me because I wanted it from the external. And the person that I wanted from really was my dad. But you know what? All along, God was there. I was saved and I got sanctified and baptized in the Holy Spirit at the age of 9 years old. And God was my everything. I love the Lord and I still do. But I was missing that human connection. And sometimes we miss the human connection, whether it be from our children, from our parents, from our siblings, from whoever. We miss the human connection. And then
Yeah.
I would tell myself, girl, look inside of yourself. You're exuding what you want. And a lot of times what we put out, but sometimes we so thirsty, we looking for it so bad that we don't even see the signs and the signals of people who are not even good for us because we're searching. When I talk about searching for a father stuff, you're searching. That means you're here, there, you're going places, you're being with people, building relationships that you shouldn't have. You're looking for the love that you wanted from a physical father. But our heavenly father has been there the whole time. And that's what I talk about at the end of the book. Is what our heavenly father provides. He provided the love that I was searching for all along.
Whew. Okay, y'all. She done brought it home. I can't I listen. You done brought it home. Spread the table. We got the chicken, the we got the ham over here. You don't bring it all, but I gotta give you the apple pie.
All right.
So,
Let's get the dessert going, girl.
remember we talked behind the scene, and I told you I have those fun questions, but I couldn't.
Yes, yes.
All right, you
See
are
how much I
now
really like to
hot.
talk.
So, Lifetime is on the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lifetime say, we love your book. We need this book. This book is needed. It needs to be on film.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to find the correct actress to play you as a young child. What child star would you give the opportunity to play you and why?
Child star. I thought you was gonna ask me which person I would be, and I would pick one of my daughters because they both act like me in a ways and they look like me. But if I
Okay,
was to go to a
now hold
child,
on, hold on. We can do that. We can do your daughters. Okay, and what are their names?
Courtney and Davita. Hey y'all
Hi,
watching?
Courtney and Davita. All right, so we got Courtney and Davita. They about to make their debut. We about to make this a family thing. But we need a man to play your dad. So that's where we're going to get the star power from. What male gospel artist would you give the opportunity to play your dad?
mm, it'd probably be a quartet singer. uh,
Courtney said, "Hey, Ma."
hey, Focus. Um, wow. I'm trying to think.
Oh, hey, Mama. I'm so proud of you. Oh, look at Davita. Oh,
I'm trying to
she
think
said a
of
quartet.
a probably a quartet singer. My dad loved to sing, and he was a preacher. So I'm trying to think of.
Okay, so one of my favorites is Rance Allen,
I don't know if it would be Rance Allen.
and I
I was
love
thinking
Fred
Harvey
Hammond.
Watkins, maybe a little bit. Harvey Watkins from the Canton Spirituals.
Ooh, you took it back there, girl. You took it.
Yeah,
Ooh, you took
yeah.
it back. Okay, so we got Harvey. His name is Harvey. What's the last name?
Watkins.
Harvey Watkins, and we have Davita and Courtney. But every good movie has a soundtrack. What song would be the soundtrack to your healing?
God is trying to tell you something.
And why do you choose that
From the
song?
color purple.
Yes.
Because God has been trying to tell me something for so many years. I have been running. I have been hiding. And not that he's been trying to, because God don't try to do anything. He has been telling me something. And so I have been turning a deaf ear. And so if I had listened earlier, I may not have had as many stumbling blocks along the way. And so I really believe that that would be the song, for both of us. I think for my dad and myself, that God has been trying to tell us something in our both our healing journeys. Because we always say hurt people, right? And some things
Mhm.
my dad did is either because he didn't know any better or because he was hurting himself and he didn't understand. And I look at that also as it's with my ex-husband, is that the fact that maybe he was having his own battles and his own, situations, and he didn't know how to heal himself. And so therefore he couldn't heal. You can't heal somebody that's you're not really healed yourself, right? We're bleeding
Bingo.
on people. We're bleeding. We're hurting and we're bleeding on people. We're got scars that hasn't been healed. We're contaminating people's spirits. Even in the church, it's people out there who are standing over pulpits who are not healed, and we see that every day on social media. We see it in all these different platforms. People are talking about the church and talking about how this person did and this was said in the church and close the doors and the money and the this and the that. And so people are broken and they are bleeding, and so healing is a very pivotal point where we can really see God and really see that He is telling and hear what He's telling us.
You know what? That's true. There's a lot of hurt people in the church.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to say that, but there is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I know I perpetrated for many years.
who
I
listen
sat there
here,
with a smile on my face like the happy first lady, and I was miserable as, excuse my language, hell. I was miserable.
girl. Look at here. You ain't preaching to the choir. I'm sitting next to you. I'm the alto. You the soprano. We with that together. So, and I just want y'all to know, I was very upset that they did not put God's trying to tell you something in the new color purple. That was just so disappointing.
In the most
That
recent movie. Mm-hmm.
yes, that just hurt my feelings. Okay, so now we have the movie, the soundtrack, the actors. Everything is great. All right, you know what? You won a Dove Award.
Uh-oh.
They loved it. You won a Dove Award. Who would you like to thank?
First and foremost, I'd like to thank God. I would like to thank my mother and my father. And I would like to thank my children. And I would even like to thank my husband, my ex-husband. And so it was all of that has made me into who I am today. Honey. If it had not been for those struggles, as Jacqueline Carr said, I would never know how much I've grown, what I can do. I don't even know my own strength sometimes. I surprise myself sometimes. So, yes, I would like to thank everyone for supporting me, supporting my book, and just being there for me. You know, there's a lot of people who I have spoken to, talked to, shared my story. Some people I've had to actually uh just just vent to them, even as recent as today. I've had to vent. So I am very thankful and grateful for people that God has placed in my life. I'm very grateful.
There you go. So before you leave, you have to give us the rundown. How we could follow you on social media, how we can grab your book, when the next one is coming out. Just go ahead and give us the rundown.
Okay, sure. So you can follow me on Journey to Heal on Facebook. I'm also Journey to Heal on TikTok. I have my personal page, Michelle Briggs. You can also go to my website is michellebriggstheauthor.com. You can also email me at michelleB at journeytohealllc.com. Okay. And so I'm looking forward to I forgot to tell you I'm a life coach. I've got certified as a life coach, and so I'm doing some coaching gigs. So you'll see that coming out soon. So I'm willing to share personally, one-on-one or group. We will get into that more. And so I'll be coming out with some luncheons and just being able to share with people. So please keep me in mind. My new book will be out. I'm actually my publisher. You know, I didn't even know how to write a book. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know how to write a book. I didn't know what to do. I know. So what I ended up doing, I ended up searching online, and I have a publisher. It's Owl Publishers, and so they published my first book, and they've also publishing the second book. They're waiting on me to finish doing my edits, and thank you guys for being so patient with me. So I'm working on the edits for my second book. Remember, and I'll post everything when it comes out. I am working on a capture page, so you can get some things, and I'll be offering some free things on my capture page, which is also called a landing page. So be looking out for some more things from me.
Well, thank you for giving us, because if you guys look at the bottom of the screen, you see all the information scrolling. I always tell you, if you want to support an author, follow them on their social media, um, follow them on their webpage. I, matter of fact, read a book today. The book had the very end of the book had me in a chokehold. I
Hmm.
inboxed that author. I was like, "What were you thinking?" She was like, You read it? I was like, yeah. She's like, oh my God, I love when people do this. This is encouragement for them. Okay. Encourage them. Like, hey, I read your book. I really like this. Some authors just love that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm going to read your book. I have made a vow to read almost all the books that I interviewed. Well, that's 52 books, y'all. Y'all
Mm.
pray for us. But
You
it
can
is,
do it.
but I like doing it because it it switches up my genres. Because if you know me, y'all know what type of book I read, and we got the lovely pastor lady here, so I can't talk about scandalous books I read, but you know. But Miss Michelle, thank you. I
Thank
thank
you.
you for not even knowing that you put some nuggets in me and
Mm.
helped me, gave me some flashbacks. And even now that I am 46 years old, and my dad, I want to say he's like 64, makes me want to go back and rekindle because we did lose each other when I got older and once my mom died. And
Mm.
this would be a great way for me to rekindle what I had with my dad. So I am going to take some words of encouragement from you and
Yes.
start my healing journey, but the healing journey that I think me and him would need to do together. So I
Yes.
thank you for being with me tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate your platform. And thank
Uh,
you,
it,
everybody that's watching. Thank
hey
you.
everybody, Miss Davita and Courtney,
Courtney?
correct? Yes.
Yes.
All right, y'all. I need y'all autographs. So when Lifetime call y'all for the movie, y'all remember y'all send me autograph.
And
Sign
y'all
it.
get those books out your Amazon shopping cart and pay for them books and read my book, please.
Oh, Miss Teresa, please don't you read my girl, Miss Teresa. Yes, I do. I can't put it like this, Miss Teresa. I can't even say the book that I read today. It might get me in trouble, but I love to read.
Hey,
I just gotta read
Teresa. That's my friend from
it.
Little Rock.
Hi, Miss Teresa from Little Arkansas.
Yes.
Y'all, I didn't know black people were in Arkansas, but hey,
It's
I
a whole
know
lot of
that's.
them out there.
I just,
I have
I
children in Arkansas. My son,
oh,
Pastor Chris Briggs, he's in Arkansas. My daughter Courtney is in Arkansas. I have a lot of people in Arkansas.
I guess I'm just an old South girl, and when I hear states like Utah, I'm like, people actually live in those states. Y'all,
Yeah. Yes.
charge it to my head, not my heart. Okay, Miss Michelle, I will continue to follow you in anything we can do here at SC BookGal and Friends. Remember, the journey doesn't stop here with us. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
guys, I want to thank you guys for being with me tonight. It is a Tuesday night, so lately I've been, before we end, I do like a little monologue, kind of liking this stuff. I heard somebody, remember last week we talked about voting, you guys? I heard somebody said, let's give them what they want. Now, when I get off this show tonight, I usually work on my social media pitches and stuff. But tonight, I'm going to go and look at these election results because I know a lot of you are voting right now. Let's do give them what they want. A lot of people don't realize that the redistricting is for the two-thirds vote. Because if you got two-thirds vote, you could change the Constitution. But the thing is, they're expecting us to not vote. But one gentleman said it. He said, we better stop for this comes back to get us. So let's give them what they want. You guys, vote. If you don't want to vote for yourself, vote for your kids, your grandkids, your community, your job, your life. Just those that are around you, vote. Okay? Also, to all the graduates out there, congratulations. I will say that I know y'all been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? And now you are seeing the fruits of your labor. Okay. I say congratulations. You guys did it. And even if you kind of fell a little bit, remember, it's not how you stay down, it's how you get back up. Okay. So I want y'all guys to know that if nobody hasn't tell you, I love you, get out, vote, walk across that stage, and let's make it do what it do. Okay. You guys, I'll be back on next week, Tuesday, with another author and another guest, Miss Michelle Briggs. We thank you one more time for being with us tonight, girlie. Everybody, let's tell her bye. Remember,
Bye.
remember, you guys, there's no such thing as an old book because not everybody has read every book. I'll see you guys next week with another book and another author. Good night,